Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Q&A. Today is Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. I am Erin Rumley. We also have Kristen Kane with us tonight. Hello,
Hi,
Kristen.
everyone. Good evening.
Kristen's the voice that all of you are very familiar with in our live trading room. She really facilitates the signals that we're seeing on Aurora and also reinforces our learn to trade, trade to earn. So Kristen, I'm gonna let you talk about this a little bit.
Okay, great. Thanks, Erin. So we in the live trading room every day, we spend our time together from 8 until 12 going through all of the strategies, the 6 different types of entries that you can have that are part of the Aurora system. Our goal in the live trading room is to teach you to learn how to enter a trade. That is step 1. So I will call out trades, but it's fantastic if you're new in the live trading room and have some questions. I'm happy to go a little bit slower, slow things down, review in more detail any trades that you have questions about so that you are very clear and understand how to enter a trade. Once you're confident in how to enter a trade, the next step is to make sure that you know how to manage your trade. And so we'll take time making sure that I'm clear on how to set your parameters, how to adjust your stop if necessary, when to close a trade if that's the right thing to do based on our guidelines. Of course, in order to be successful, not only do you have to know how to enter trades and manage trades, you do have to become quite an expert on your trading dome or whatever trading platform that you use. So we always encourage new traders to trade in Sim for a while until they're seeing consistent results. Watch all the YouTube videos or other videos that are available. Reach out to your broker and to see if they have additional resources. Just become a master at your dome so that you know how to move stops and enter and exit trades appropriately. And then finally, in order to be successful, to really learn how to trade so that you can trade to earn, we feel that it's important to learn when to stop. And so it's all about setting goals for yourself and working towards achieving those goals. If you have a certain number of points or dollars that you want to achieve in a day, you can get there by taking all the trades, or you can get there by taking trades up to a certain goal and then doubling contracts. So there's a lot of different ways to earn your profits. And it's important that you know when to stop so that you can maintain that path towards your goal. So start your learning, of course, always in Sim, whatever your dome you're using. Learn how to enter a trade, learn how to manage your trade, become an expert at your dome and know when to stop. And you can too can be successful when trading Aurora.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kristen. So we primarily focus on NQ in our live trading room. We're looking at NQ futures. Kristen's there calling out signals. She will alternate between looking at the PB system, which is our PB3s, PB35s, and PB13s, and then our A system, which is on the 5 and 10-minute chart, the 3A, 4A, and fractals. And you can see that on NQ, our PBs average about $1,300 a day, and our A signals average about $900 a day. And then we also have traders that are looking at oil futures, and Kristen will occasionally profile oil in the live trading room as well. Similar strategies, except we use the 15-minute chart with the A strategy. So it's a 5, 10, and 15-minute, 3A, 4A, and fractals. And then we've been starting to track and record and evaluate the PB strategies on the oil futures as well. And those systems currently are both averaging about $800 a day. So there's optimal profit opportunity if you're looking at NQ, if you're looking at oil. depending if you want to trade the PB strategy or the A strategy. This does all assume that if you hit $1,700 of loss on a day, you stop at that day, giving yourself a stopping point to protect your account. And this also includes FOMC weeks. And if you're new here, we have done evaluation on FOMC weeks, specifically how they affect NQ. And so on NQ for FOMC weeks, there's a little bit different about how we approach it. On Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, we advise not trading NQ just because of all of the anticipation for that Fed news that is going to come out around 2 p.m. It ends up being one of those choppy days that it's just better really to sit out. So these averages are including the FOMC weeks that do have a lower return during those weeks. And then with NQ, since it is our primary focus in our live trading room, NQ contracts expire every quarter. So our contracts for NQ will be March, June, September, and December. Right now we're trading the March contract, but that's going to change pretty soon to the June contract. Now, the way that we switch contracts is a little bit different than how some other people do it. We switch contracts when the volume on the next contract is about the same or greater than the volume on the current contract. That has been advised to us by our broker. Some brokers and some platforms switch you automatically. So it's definitely something that you want to pay attention to make sure that you're trading the correct contract and that you're not switching too early. Generally, we will switch. It's usually been happening the Monday of the third week of the month. So it would be this coming Monday where those volumes tend to match up better. But it's something that we start to evaluate every single day to know when to switch contracts. The contracts will expire the third Friday of March. So we don't want to be trading those contracts on those days. The volume's just going to deplete out of there. And what we're looking for is, again, we're looking to compare June's volume to March's volume to know when to switch contracts. Now, because we are maintaining control of what contract that we're trading at a time, we need to then set alerts for the next contract. Some people will choose to use the continuous contract. As I mentioned before, that will switch prematurely. And so your alerts, if you're on a continuous contract, may not match ours. You do have the benefit of not having to set alerts every quarter. However, you will be getting alerts for the wrong contract. So we don't mind setting alerts. Alerts are rather quick with some of the updates that we've provided with really their one-click alert setups. So we recommend in the next day or two, maybe, pretty much tomorrow is when I would recommend doing this, is to set up your alerts on your chart so that when volume does exceed, June's volume exceeds March, that you'll already be ready to go. You're not doing this rush to set up your alerts and get your chart ready so you can start trading. So there are some helpful links on how to set up alerts. There's the alert setup page, and then there's also your Aurora Access Complete page as well that will have a video that you can jump to for the alert setup process. So you can choose to go to either of those web pages. The Aurora Access Complete, let me share that page for you. On this page, there is a chart setup video. And if you see on this video, it actually, you can jump to a specific step. So you can jump straight to step 18, which is setting alerts. So if you are someone that prefers to have the video tutorial to refresh your memory on how to set up alerts, you can do it that way. Otherwise, it's fairly simple. Just looking at the alert setup page as well on how to set up alerts. So I'm not going to go through and set up all the alerts, but I'm going to go through and show you what I do each quarter. So I am on, first I'll show you what I have here. This is a different way that you can evaluate volume. You can use your trading platform or you can use TradingView. You can just add the volume indicator to the bottom of a daily chart. I have a daily chart side by side here, the current contract with March, and then the next contract being June. And you can see for today, we're in that 600,000 range for March, but June's at 17,500. So we have a ways to make up here. You can also look at the data window on TradingView as well. So if you're used to seeing alerts over here, you can go just 2 buttons down to your data window and it will show you volume as well. And so you can see volume for today of the June says, what does it say, 18, little over 18.6K. And then if we click on the March chart and go to today, you can see 630 some odd K. So we will again want to switch to June when the volume starts to match, starts to get closer to March. Now, something to note is that you'll want it to be close. It can be less. June's volume can be less prior to 9:30 Eastern time. June's volume can be less than March, but if it's relatively close enough, we'll switch because when that 9:30 happens, that volume is going to jump. So a benefit of being an Aurora subscriber is you have access to the live trading room where Kristen will let you know when we have switched contracts. So on my NQ chart, really the way that I handle it is I don't create a new chart. I don't create a copy. I just keep my current chart here. I quickly change the symbol to the next contract. There's a few ways you can do that. You can just start typing an N on your keyboard and it will bring up a pop-up. You can go up here and click for the symbol search. This is the same pop-up I'm talking about. And you can type in NQ and then you can either search or type in, because you know it's going to be M for June, NQM 2023. And then as long as you have under your layout, your symbol highlighted here, as long as you change it on one chart, it'll change on all of them. And then I go through and I set my alerts. So I'm on the 1 minute chart and I can go and create a new alert on the 1 minute chart for the September contract, add the alert name of whatever I want it to say. Maybe I want it to say 1 minute NQ and click create. And then I go and do that for anything I want to have an alert for. And as soon as the alert fires, you'll see it in the alert log, but you can see up here that I've created it. Once I've created all the alerts for these June contract, then I just go ahead and change it back to the current March contract. So NQH 2023. And then I'm back to what we're currently using. And then the first morning that I'm ready to trade, that I know that the September contract has a higher volume, all I do is what I just showed you is just change this chart to be that NQM, which is the September contract, and my alerts will have already been ready to go because I set them up ahead of time. So this keeps it all in the same chart as well. You're not changing that much. And again, you'll just wait for when Kristen is in the live trading room. She'll let you know when we have switched to the next contract. And again, if you need a refresher on how to set any alerts, you can go to the alert setup page. It will tell you how to set up alerts there. If you prefer to have a little bit of a video reminder, then your Aurora Access instructions has a video at the top where you can jump straight to setting up alerts, and it will take you through setting up each alert there. So again, that's something that I would recommend doing tonight or tomorrow, just so that you're ready to go when that volume ends up being the same or a little bit more on that next contract. Okay, continuing on. And if you're an Aurora subscriber, you will receive an email reminder of this as well, to set up your alerts. It'll go out with the Q&A recording. As a reminder, Infinity Futures plans to be discontinued the end of this quarter. We have not received an update on that yet, but I have been assured that everything will be a seamless transition. If you already have an Infinity Futures account and you want to switch to Trade-O-Vate or NinjaTrader, they'll be able to move your account over. If you have any questions regarding this, we encourage you to contact Glenn, and then here's his information down here. These are all owned by NinjaTrader, Trade-O-Vate, NinjaTrader, and Infinity. So if you'd like to keep with that grouping, you can contact Glenn and he'll be able to help you. There are different trading platforms out there. You can use whatever trading platform you want. As Kristen mentioned before, a key part of being a successful trader is knowing your trading platform. So if you have not looked at something besides Infinity yet, now is definitely the time that you want to request a demo of either of these platforms or of a different one, so you can become comfortable with trading on those platforms. There will be differences between how Infinity works. Neither of these platforms are a copycat of Infinity, so you'll want to get used to how those platforms function, utilize any support that your new trading platform offers for any questions that you have. And so that way you can be ready to switch to live on your new platform for whenever Infinity does go away. For those of you that are new, Options Moneymaker and New Cycle Trading and Analytics offer a variety of services. The main one that we are highlighting tonight is our Aurora Trading System. This is what we talked about with our averages. This is what Kristen goes over in our live trading room. With an Aurora Trading System subscription, you get technical indicators available for you on your own TradingView chart. That means that you don't have to be in the live trading room. You can trade whenever is convenient for you. If that is outside of the normal 9 to 5 work hours, futures trade almost 24 hours a day, so futures would be available for you. If you prefer not to be in front of your computer trading all day, maybe options are something that you're interested in. Aurora can be used on futures, options, stocks. They are signals, they are technical indicators. And so you will have them on your own charts for you to use whichever way you want to. If you would prefer to trade ES, they're available for you to trade really whatever equity you want, whenever you have availability, as long as that equity is open and trading. You also, with an Aurora Trading subscription, get live trading room access. This is a huge benefit. It's almost like having, and it is, it's like having a family there that you're trading with. Trading can be very lonely, and to have someone there, to have a group of people there that are trading right alongside of you, even if you're not necessarily trading what we are trading in the live trading room, being able to ask questions, be able to hear that people have similar questions, hearing some thought processes on maybe a a day that is a little bit out of the norm and how to think about it and how to adjust. Those are all very strong benefits of being an Aurora Trading System subscriber and having access to our live trading room. And honestly, even just little things, you have a question about something you encountered on TradingView, you accidentally messed up your charts, or you need just a little bit of help finding something. Kristen is pretty much an expert on TradingView charts because she uses them every day as well. So she's there to answer questions that you may have. And then also with the Aurora Trading System, you get education with how to trade the PB system, how to trade the A system, futures, options, and a couple other videos that are available that aren't available for the general public. And then you also receive a monthly Back to Basics recording. So if you're not able to be in the live trading room, you still receive this education, this reinforcement that Kristen likes to do every single month. And Kristen, if you just want to take it from here, tell us a little bit more about what you like to do during Back to Basics weeks.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Erin. During Back to Basics, we're very proud of the education videos that are available. So when you are a subscriber to Aurora, when you're first interested in Aurora, there's education that will take you step by step how to enter into trades and follow certain set of guidelines in managing those trades. But just like anything, you go to class or you go through the video the first time, and it'd be nice to do it again. Well, you could go watch those same videos over and over again, or you can join us during our Back to Basics week. And during Back to Basics, we go back to a beginner's mindset where we really try to reinforce those guidelines for trading each of the 6 strategies. So I usually like to spend the first couple days, Monday, just talking about our A trades and slowing everything down, taking one trade at a time. We look at our resources online that we have to help us remember what the rules are. We take an A trade together. We talk about what your parameters should be when you enter the trade, and we stick with that one trade from start to finish. And then we go on and we wait until the next trade. And so Monday and Tuesday, we usually spend just focused on our 3A and 4A, and then we'll sprinkle in fractals in there. And then Tuesday, we'll just practice that. So again, stay focused on just the A strategy and just get to practice in real time together, learning and practicing entering trades and managing those trades. And then that's Monday and Tuesday. Usually Wednesday and Thursday, we turn over and start looking at our PBs. We start with the PB3 and PB35s on Wednesday, usually. Same plan. We're going to slow everything down. We're going to talk about each of the strategies, review, reinforce how to get into the trades and how to manage them, and then we'll take one. So we'll be in a PB35, and instead of like we normally do in the live trading room, I'll be also saying, okay, you're in a PB3, but here comes a PB35, and then maybe there's a 4A over here. Instead of talking about all of those trades at once, we just stick with the single trade that we're in, and we talk about it from start to finish to really reinforce that you understand and can see these trades happening in real time. So review the basics, go back to a beginner's mindset, reinforce the knowledge and the guidelines so that you can just build your confidence in your own skills for trading Aurora. I record usually about the first couple of hours. Usually it's anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long. I record that back to basics that back to basics session. So then we make it available via email, and you have that as a resource to go back and listen to at any point in time.
And for those of you that don't know, Kristen has a background in training. I have a background in education, and both of us know that even though our initial education is very comprehensive, it has all of the answers in there. There's something about hearing something again, and as Kristen is doing these back to basics, she's not saying everything the same exact way. It's not identical recordings. She's phrasing things a little bit differently. And we know that's how things can click for people. They could hear something 100 times one way, and then you just change the wording just slightly, and that's what makes it click for them. So that is why we do these monthly back to basics, talking about a variety of different things. Yes, her focus is the systems, but she's obviously going to be covering other things as questions appear. And it may be just that one time you hear something just slightly differently, phrased slightly in a different analogy or metaphor, and all of a sudden it clicks for you. So that's why we do this knowledge and skill reinforcement during the live trading room. We also offer options education via Profit Builder Plus, which is a beginner's guide basically to options education. It's also a great reinforcement for anybody that's been doing options trading for a while and wants some reinforcement. That's Profit Builder Plus. For anybody ready to take their options trading to the next level, that's the Advanced Option Spreads course, talking about calendar and diagonal spreads. Market Tamer, which takes the combination of calendar and diagonal spreads, managing positions, and then our Seed Iron Condors, which is a variation to a traditional iron condor, talks about harvesting money, so grabbing profits from one leg or both legs, and then still allowing opportunity for that iron condor to play out. We also offer a personal trading plan. This is extremely helpful if you are a trader that is trading as a business. It helps you plan, forecast the performance of your trades. So you're looking at it on a broader scale, which helps. Sometimes traders can get really focused on just the day-to-day or trade to trade. This helps you look at your run rate and your forecast out, and helps you also evaluate when is a good time to increase contracts, if that's something that you want to do based on how much you want to risk of your account balance. And then we also offer one-on-one coaching for any trader that's seeking to really accelerate their learning or hone in on something that you're struggling with. Maybe you understand futures trading, but you're not quite hitting the goal that you're looking for. One-on-one coaching can help you really start to focus and target on that and see what needs to be tweaked in order to help you get to your goal. Or if you're starting out and you haven't traded futures before, but you really want to kick it into gear and you want to get caught up fast, one-on-one coaching is absolutely a great way to approach that as well. And then if you have any more questions, if you want to see a little bit more information about any of these, newcycletrading.com/services are the services available from New Cycle Trading, and then optionsmoneymaker.com/what-we-offer are the services available from Options Moneymaker. So we'll head over to questions. The first question I see here, and we had a question like this last time as well, so I have some good examples to show you. But one of the questions here is, we talk about Aurora trading on stocks and options, and can we give an example of what that looks like? And absolutely. So this is part of our training, our Aurora training, our Aurora education, talking about taking options trades, looking at using the 5-minute PBA Aurora signals and looking for alignment between the 5 and the 30-minute chart. So I went through my alert log as I was monitoring some of these trades today as I've been watching, I should say, over the past week for some of these trades. So I went ahead and illustrated them for you. So these are all showing when alignment happened. So I recommend not taking a trade exactly at 9:30, even if alignment happens right at 9:30. This one didn't happen till 9:35, but just because of the way that things can be really volatile at market open, just waiting 5 minutes to see if everything is still in alignment. Especially with options trade, which can have some of that volatility built up into the premium as well. So at 9:35, we ended up with an alignment. You can see that blue bar ended up disappearing here, but we ended up with an alignment at 9:35. The blue bar didn't print, but it was there at 9:35. And then we have the entry point. The S&P was trading at 39.9715. And you can see that now what we're looking for is when both the 5 and the 30-minute no longer, they both no longer have that long signal. So that may mean that you see short signals on the 5-minute because it is such a shorter time frame. But as long as the 30-minute is still printing those long signals, then it's still a valid trade to hold. Now, what we recommend on options is having a GTC, a good till cancel order out there for a specific profit dollar amount, or you start to incorporate a trailing stop of some sort to protect it if you start to see some profit. If you are an options trader, you're already familiar with what good potential moves are for day trades, or if you're looking for longer holds, maybe you're looking at longer time frames. Maybe you're comparing a 30-minute and a 180-minute chart together. You can use those, but the 5 and the 30 is what we have used and also what we talk about in our education. Something to take that a step further that we don't talk about in our education is you can also choose to have alignment with what the overall trend is on the daily chart. So the daily chart started to show some buying trends, or at least a retracement here. So you were looking for a long trade to go in alignment with that. So what happened is there was either a signal on the 5-minute or the 30-minute all the way up until 11 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, they both didn't have a signal there. It ended up coming back later on the 30-minute chart, but right at 11 o'clock, they were both gone. So that would be your exit. That on its own is a profit. You go from 39.97 to 40.11. However, you probably be long gone out of this because your max profit was over 21 points of movement, which on a 50 delta on one contract is over $1,000. You are probably looking for something a little bit less than that with a intraday trade here. So you want to know what your profit target is and have that set so that if it hits that level, your GTC can close out of the position for you. Another one we could look at, Amazon. So Amazon here, you can see that Amazon's just kind of been in this short trend. We crossed below the middle of the Bollinger Bands and we were in the short trend. So maybe you're looking for alignment for a short position based on the 30-minute and the 5-minute alignment. So you have alignment here at 235. The alignment sticks until you hold it overnight. That's if you want to. You do have profit opportunity prior to market close. So you could always close out of the trade and grab your profit and look for another opportunity on either this stock or a different stock the next day. But if you do decide to hold overnight, your exit when both signals disappear is actually at 10:05. So you go down about a full point, but of course you had a larger profit before that, with your max profit being over 1.5 points of movement. And so maybe you're trading more contracts on Amazon to look for whatever profit goal you have. Maybe you're on a lower delta and more contracts as well, but you can see there's price movement here with profit opportunity as well. And I could go through more stocks. I think I looked at Google was another one. But what I like is to look at the daily chart to get a feel of the overall direction of the stock, and then go to the 5 and 30-minute and wait for an alignment. There won't be one every single day. That's not generally what you're looking for with options trades. You don't necessarily need to have one every single day. Especially if you're an options trader, you probably are looking for something that you can just kind of set and forget and check in a little bit. You can get alerts on your phone to know when signals stopped. You can view TradingView and the Aurora signals on the app on your phone as well. So there's always a possibility you can step away and still be aware of what's happening to your position, and then close it out if there is something that's saying that the signal is ending and you need to exit the trade and it hasn't hit your GTC yet. So again, similar opportunity. Yes, there was alignment at 9:30, but hey, let's just wait till 9:35 because of all of that volatility. You enter in at about 94, 95. There's your exit when you no longer have one of the charts, either the 5 or the 30, printing that blue bar. That happens at 11:30, and so that's your exit. And so it's a little bit less than a point if you wait till your exit, but otherwise it's over 1.25 points of movement. Again, 50 delta on one contract, so you have profit opportunity here. And depending, again, if you're used to Google, you'll know what an average price movement is, what you're looking for. And if you're looking for something more substantial, if you're looking to take advantage of more of these daily trends holding overnight instead of being in and out the same day, you can definitely look at longer time frames to help time your entry as well. So those are just a couple options, or even stocks if you just want to buy a stock and exit, but more options. Trading examples using Aurora, and all we're looking at is alignment between the 5 and the 30 PBA signals. And then if you're looking to be a little bit more conservative on your entries, also making sure they're in line with the current trend that's going on the daily chart. Cheryl's asking, we did several surveys about trading room focus. Do we have results from those surveys? What our results were showing is that people like having the mixture of both PBs and A's. So Kristen's been continuing to showcase both the PB system and the A system, with the exceptions of the back to basic weeks, where she focuses really, as she mentioned, she breaks it down by day for system. And then of course, with our FOMC weeks, where we're looking at the A systems on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Kristen, is it PBs then on Thursdays?
PBs and A's, we can look at both of those on Thursday because they're about equal.
Right, okay. So we have found that people really want to see both signals. We don't have to announce every signal that appears in the room. So if there's ever a day that one of you would prefer that Kristen focuses on either PBs or just A's, give her a heads up, a couple days heads up, and say, hey, on this day, can you do that? As long as we don't have something else planned, we can always look at taking a couple hours to just focus on PBs during that time or A's during that time. So those are the only 2 questions we've had so far. We'll give it a little bit more for any of you that are maybe in the middle of typing, or we're waiting for somebody else to ask a question that you have. But if we don't have any other questions, we'll go ahead and close the room. And then, of course, for anybody that joined late, there will be a recording sent out tomorrow of this Q&A. While we're waiting for some more questions to come in, just as a another thought, since we do occasionally profile oil as well, oil's contracts actually change over every month. So it's the same process for changing your charts. It's the same process for when it switches over. We're looking at volume, comparing the next contract to the current contract. You absolutely do not want to be holding an oil trade at expiration, since it's a deliverable. So that you definitely want to be out well ahead. Most brokers have some sort of fail-safe where they will switch you over, but oil is something that if you are new to trading oil, it changes contracts monthly, and you just always want to double check before you start trading that day where the oil volume is with the current contract compared to the next contract. ES is quarterly, so if you prefer ES because it moves a little bit at a slower pace than NQ, ES is the same as NQ, and so is RTY. Kristen, do you have anything to add at all?
I do not have anything to add. No
I know
other
you've done most of
questions?
your talking this morning with Back to Basics.
We did. Back to Basics is definitely a fantastic. So anybody who's taking advantage of some of the live trading room trials or just initially looking at Aurora, this is a perfect week for you to be participating and observing. You kind of get some free one-on-one education to go along with those recordings. So I've enjoyed having everybody in the room. The more questions that you ask when you're in the room, the more it helps the entire community while we're trading. It's been interesting the last couple of days. We've had just fantastic examples of how to enter trades, but also how to manage trades through maybe some choppy situations or just looking at market conditions and talking about, what it looks like when markets start to flatten out and what might we expect when that happens. And really, not only have we talked about entries into trades this week, but we've really spent a lot of time just talking about market conditions in general.
Absolutely. And we were doing, we were having Back to Basics the first week of every month, and then we just seem to be overlapping with FOMC weeks quite a few months in a row. So we decided to shift it into the Q&A week, and it just lines up a little bit better here. Is TradingView required to use this trading system? So right now, the Aurora trading system is only available on the TradingView charting platform, but you can use whatever trading platform you want to trade off of. So you don't have to use anything that's integrated with TradingView to trade. So if you already have a trading platform that you enjoy, such as NinjaTrader, you can continue to use that. This Aurora system, though, is only available on the TradingView charting platform. Cheryl, you can. So Cheryl's asking, can we just make a copy of the current NQ chart and then update the alerts on that chart? So the reason that I do not do it that way is that depending on your subscription level to TradingView, you are limited the amount of saved charts that you can have. And so I just keep my chart the same. That way it's always the same name that I'm looking for, since you can also let's see if it'll show it. You can favorite, you can star your layouts. And so I like to keep it nice and neat and just have my favorite on here. So it's one less thing for me to do. But you can absolutely, you can create a copy first and then just switch your contracts on the copy of your layout and set your alerts there. It doesn't matter what chart you set your alerts on, they will appear on any chart that you switch to the next contract on. So your alerts aren't dedicated just to a specific layout. I could change this oil to NQ and you'll see all of my NQ alerts on it. So I prefer to create less steps for myself and just switch my current chart, set the alerts, and then go back. That way I'm not deleting charts and saving new charts and favoriting them again. That's just my personal preference. There is no wrong way. Either way will work completely fine. Rob, I'm not sure if you were here in the beginning. We did go over performance, what our daily averages are for NQ and for oil. If there's something you're looking for more specific, let me know. And then Christy, if you have questions on a specific Tradevate, if you're switching to Tradevate, you have a specific question, as long as we can answer that, we will try to answer that. We're not going to have a specific video one-on-one dedicated to how to trade on Tradevate. With both Tradevate and NinjaTrader, there are a substantial amount of videos out there already that we feel that there is plenty of resources out there to be able to identify how to do a specific action. Their support team has been great for anything that we have found that has been a little bit different than what we're used to in Infinity. We've been able to quickly reach out to support to get their advice on how to handle something. Oh, Cheryl, if you're changing, if you're setting alerts, you're trying to keep, I see that you're trying to avoid seeing your new alerts on your new chart on your current chart. I'm assuming that's your concern. As long as under your layout, you have symbol synced, you won't see anything but what symbol is on your current chart. So that's why when I go to the NQM 2023 chart, you can only see alerts for that. I only set up that 1 minute when I was illustrating it earlier, and you won't see any alerts from the current contract, from the March contract on here. Now, if I don't have symbol selected, we can get, and actually, if I unselect, what is it, time to, you would get both and you would end up, see. At least it should. I'm not sure why it's not doing that right now. I probably need to refresh the page, but well, it shouldn't. I'm not sure why this is doing this right now. This is TradingView is not behaving the way that it should. But as long as you don't have, as long as you have the correct things synced, so you're, sorry, I didn't want to do interval. I get it. Undo button is really awesome in TradingView for those of you that make a mistake. As long as symbol is highlighted, you shouldn't see any other signals. If symbol is not highlighted, then you would get other alerts in here. Not quite sure why it's not showing what I want it to show right now, but it's not. Because if you hover over symbol with the eye, it says the symbol changes on all charts of the, oh, I know what my problem is. Let's try this again. Excuse me. It's under the alert settings. I apologize for that, for any confusion, but you're filtering your alerts. So if you have current symbol checked, it will only show the current symbol's alerts. So now if I uncheck this, now you will see oil on here. If I scroll down enough to get back to the regular market session, you'll see stocks on here. I have a Bitcoin one that I was testing out a while ago. It would show every single symbol that I have an alert set for will show up in my alert log. You can see, I have to go back a ways, just trying to get to the regular market session. So that's how you would avoid having the new contract and the current contract show up in your alert log, is that you would go over here to your alert settings and then check current symbol. As long as current symbol is checked, then you will only see alerts for the symbol that you have selected on the chart. I hope that makes sense. I know that was a little bit confusing because I was in the wrong spot. But this means, so if I'm on NQM right now, which is the next contract, I'm only seeing NQM. And then if I'm on NQH, which is the current contract, I'll only see NQH. And it's all based on the alert settings up here. And if you uncheck the current time interval, then you will see alerts from all of the time frames that you have for this symbol. Now, something to note is that the alert log doesn't know what's up here. So if you have an NQH 15-minute alert set, it can show up in your alert log if you have the current time interval unchecked. So again, it doesn't matter. It's not selected and copied to a specific saved chart. It's actually saved to your TradingView account.
One of the nice things about Back to Basics Week is tomorrow morning, hint, hint for any of you, I'm actually going to set up my new charts for my charts for the new contract tomorrow during our Back to Basics, and I'm going to record that. So I'm going to demonstrate going through that just like Erin did today, tonight, but I'll demonstrate that again tomorrow as well.
And Cheryl, yes, you want to set them up ahead of time. You're not skipping a step if you're waiting to set them up, because let's say you want to start trading at 8 a.m. At 7:55, you realize that the contract change has happened. Now you're giving yourself 5 minutes to get ready to trade by setting up all your alerts, setting your chart. If you make a mistake, the nice thing about setting them up now is if you do accidentally make a mistake with setting up an alert, you can even check over on it throughout the day to make sure that the alerts are firing as you would expect them to, that whatever you've labeled them makes sense. And so it's better to set it up now, and then that way when you change, they're already ready to go. But that's why all I do is I keep my chart the same. I just switch it to the next contract, set my alerts, and then go back to the current contract so I can continue to trade. Rob, what performance are you looking for from 8 to 11? PBs? The PB3s, 35s, and 13s? Okay. Give me just a second to pull that up for you. Oh, Kristen, you're amazing.
Erin, I actually have that. I pulled up the tracker, so I have that I can share.
I have the tracker up. I just was getting it changed over, and then I noticed you had already done that wonderful thing for me.
So I have, there you go. Perfect. That's exactly what I have.
So this is all, which means the PB3s, 35 and 13s from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is assuming you're asking for Eastern time. And the average daily profit, this is points, a little over 30 points. You're welcome. And we've gotten questions before, what's the average daily profits versus average daily loss? So your average here is taking a true average. Your average daily profit is on all the days that were profitable, what's your average? And then all your days that were just losses, what's your average here? And these are obviously in dollar amounts, but again, this is 30 points. So about $600 in just a few hours. That's not so bad. And this is also still assuming that your stopping point is that negative $1,700. Thank you, Kristen, for the assist. So as Kristen mentioned, she will be going through and showing the switching of contracts tomorrow. We're not switching contracts tomorrow, but at least the setup of a chart similar to what I showed. I think you do it a little bit differently than me. Again, there's no right or wrong answer as long as, in my opinion, as long as you set up your alerts in advance so that you're not scrambling to do it the day of the contract change, then there's no right or wrong answer. Because I think you make a copy of your chart, don't you?
I usually do, yes, but I think it's because I didn't even realize it was so easy that you didn't even have to make a copy. But what you just described, see, even I learn something new every day. But yes, I usually do make a copy.
And it's really whatever you, and maybe, so if you're in the middle of your trading day and maybe you're taking a break, or maybe you're bored, or you're sitting out for a little bit and you plan to come back trading later and you still want to have your other chart up, maybe making a copy makes the most sense for you. So you can toggle back and forth between your charts as you're setting up alerts. So you're not missing out on something that is happening with the current contract. I usually do mine after I'm done trading for the day. That's when that's just when I do it. So it all depends on what your flexibility is and really what you want to do. But again, there's no wrong answer. You could start from the very beginning. I don't recommend that, but you could go to the Aurora Access Complete and start from the very beginning to open up a chart and set your alerts that way and recreate your chart. But that's going to be the longest way. I don't recommend that. All right, I don't see any questions out there. If you do think of any questions and you're not in our live trading room, if you are in our live trading room, feel free to ask questions in there. If you're not part of our Aurora subscribers, so you don't have access to our live trading room, you can always send us an email, even just by replying to the email that sends out our Q&A recording. It's an easy way to get access to us if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll be back next month with our next Q&A. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Kristen, as always. And we'll talk to you all soon.